How is everybody doing today? My name is Cody, or Wild Leprechauns, whichever you prefer, and today we're going into the second episode of my map guide called the Map Deconstruction, and this time we're covering the map Vertigo, which is one of the new DLC maps, along with the map Studio, which I covered last week. And for this episode, I'm going to be showing you the same things that I did last time, with the starting routes that you can take, an overhead map of the objective locations, as well as different jumps and spots and lines of sight you could use to get an advantage over your enemy in gunfights. And right now you're just seeing some cinematics, kind of get you a good view of what the map looks like. And it's a really nice looking map. It's very different from a lot of the other maps that have been introduced to Call of Duty. It somewhat plays like High Rise in a little bit, but it's very, very different. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion on it starting now. So now we're into the part of the guide where I'm going to show you some nice lines of sight, head glitches, jumps, and all this other stuff you could use when you're playing on this map so you can do better. And to start off, we're going to start at A spawn on Domination, and right over here there's that sort of vent, and it's not really that helpful. You can kind of get a nice little head glitch, but if somebody has FMJ they might be able to punch right through it. I haven't tested that, but just be wary of it. Now you can kind of capture the flag from the sides of that, or you can use this big box-like thing and lay on either side, and that works pretty well. Capture the flag. Now over here it's kind of an open spawn, but you can use this like metal block thing, and you could kind of get a nice line of sight to either side and check and see if you're clear. Now over here you could drop down, or you could just use the ladder to get back up if you need to. And inside this room is kind of pointless. There's not really much you can do here. You can, if you wanted to, like hop up there. I don't think there's a purpose for it. You can peek through if you think somebody's coming after you, but it's not really worth it. This room's kind of bland and pointless. This route, I think in my opinion, is more of an escape route. Like this sort of side thing. It's not really useful, except to run away from people. And it's kind of infrequent engagements. Not many engagements seem to happen over there. You can also just hop off that ladder and get back up. And this is the sort of above layer to that little drop down. It's not really all that interesting. Now right here, this is a great spot. You can actually hop on this air vent and then hop up top here, and it's terrific to get a nice line of sight like across the map, because people won't be suspecting you to be up there, and they can't get up from this side, so the only way they can get up there is from the side. And right here, just be wary. You can jump down there, but if you dolphin dive, you die. So you can just jump. Don't dolphin dive. If you have lightweight, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't have it, you're going to get pretty damaged, even from jumping. But dolphin diving is just going to cause you to die, so don't do that. It's not safe to do that. Right, I'm going to show you. You could just jump. But you get your screen pretty red, so you got to be careful. If you're getting shot at, don't do it. Don't jump off that if you get hit a few times, because you'll probably just die. Right here, you can kind of use these boxes as sort of a nice little line of sight across. And there's a hard point actually over on that side of the map, and there's a hard point just where that big sort of grate that we hopped on top of was. So it's pretty good. Over here, you can just run down, kind of peek across. Not really much cover here, so you're gonna get shot at pretty easily. Now over here, this is a hard point, actually to the left. But this side is pretty much the same. On both sides, there's just these little boxes, but where I was just standing, that's a hard point, so you gotta kind of figure out a good spot. There's not really much cover in the hard points on this map, I noticed. The hard points are very much in the open, and it's kind of a problem when you're trying to keep them, but there's some spots you could use when you're trying to keep the hard points. And over here, you can use these kind of barrels and stuff as lines of sight. That's a spawn right over here. This is where the enemy team's going to spawn. They're going to spawn over here at C, and it's pretty open. There's not really much cover, so if you spawn at C, you want to get this flag pretty fast and hopefully get B. Otherwise, you're going to get probably spawn trapped back there, and that's not fun because there's no cover. Now, you can kind of lean your way up here and get this flag from behind that little wall. You could also get it from on top of like the tree area. And over here, you can kind of jump up here. There's not really any purpose to it. It's just here. Same with this. You can just hop up top. Nothing useful at all. This is like a barrel. You can just stick your head behind for both sides. And you can also use this thing as sort of a little line of sight and cover. And you could also drop down here, and you can alternatively just run out of the spawn. And you get into this office thing, and it looks like it's a dead end, but you can actually knife this glass over here, and you're gonna see in a second you can actually hop up the what's it called, ledges. You can hop up these ledges right over here on the outside and get out. And you can alternatively just drop down if you needed to escape. And over here you can get some nice little lines of sight. There's not much cover on this map, but there's some good routes really to take. Now when you hop up here, again, you can either go straight to that building that you saw over to the right, or you can go on the exterior. And this side, I probably wouldn't recommend it because you could get killed very easily. It might be better for search and destroy, but you're not going to be able to avoid bullets at all, so you got to be careful over there. And you can kind of use that window if you want it to peek out. Over here, this thing kind of can be annoying, but you can shoot that glass and actually pop it out, so you can kind of see through it. Use that as cover. Just duck down and stand up, shoot behind it. Same with this one over here. Right here, I tried to jump through, but you gotta break this glass first. But you can break the glass. Here's B flag. There's not really many spots to capture it from, but you can jump across to there like they showed. And to get down, you have to just run and crouch, and then you can get across. And you can grab B from right here, or the other side, same spot. You can kind of grab it from here, or from either side, right over here. And you're going to notice the counters going down because I accidentally forgot to set it to unlimited time. So we're going to have a cut right here into the second round. And there's not much left to show you guys. This map is pretty linear in a lot of ways. There's some nice jumps and spots that you can use. And look up there, there's a lodestar up top if you look. I'm probably going to show you in a second. But this cover right here, it's not actually really strong cover. It's pretty much like cardboard or plywood. So you got to be careful because people can kind of shoot right through. So you might think you're safe, and then if somebody's got FMJ or an LMG or something, they're going to punch right through it like it's paper. So you got to be careful. Over here, you can actually step on these things and they open up. And it makes a little noise. It's not as loud as the ones on drone, but you can kind of tell. There's a lodestar. It's pretty cool because this place is supposed to be a manufacturer of that. And over here, you can actually hop on top of here and it won't recognize that you're standing there, so the door won't open. So you can use this for search and destroy if you think somebody's going to come through there or whatever. Because one of the objectives is over there for search. Now you can hop on top of here, you can kind of get a nice little line of sight, but you're kind of exposed. And back over here at the spawn, I forgot to show you guys, but you can actually go to the right over here, and it's pretty open. You can kind of peek your head around, but it just leads right back up to the spot that we previously were at with the jump that you can make from B to the top. And that's pretty much it with this area. You can just run across, and yeah, you're going to see another sort of thing. You can kind of peek behind there, and same with this, you can kind of peek behind it. But there's not really much cover to use on this map. It's very, very open in a lot of ways. And right here, I'm going to try and jump down again. I'm going to fail. Jump across. You could jump across it. If you want to jump down, you have to just run and then crouch, and then you can make it down. And you can just hop back up whenever you want to. But that's pretty much it with this. Now we're going to move on to the overhead map and show you guys where the objectives and stuff actually are located. Okay, so now we're going to show you the overhead view of the map. And to start off, I'm going to point out all the domination objectives. And as you notice on the screen, they're labeled with the orange, and then they have the letter of the flag. And they're pretty much all in some sort of straight line. And the opening routes that I'm going to show you soon are actually pretty useful to get to them. There's multiple ways to get to B, and A and C are pretty much the same way. There's multiple areas that you can take to get to those flags and capture them. There's limited cover on A and C, and B is pretty hectic to grab. But if you can, try and grab your home flag and then get straight to B, because it's going to be hard for the enemy to grab B once you have it locked down because of how many entrances there are to B. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is the search and destroy objectives, and honestly, the A search and destroy objective is pretty much an objective you should just try and avoid planting at. It's going to be so hard, because if you notice, when you're playing search and destroy, when you're on offense, you're going to spawn right by A, and in doing so, you're going to have to run across like the entire map to get to the A search and destroy flag. I mean, search and destroy objective. I mean, when I said you spawn at A, I meant the A domination flag. But you're going to spawn at the A dom flag, and you have to go all the way to the A search and destroy objective, and that's pretty much across the entire map. So the better alternative is to probably go to B because of how much closer it is to where you are, so you can easily get the plan off there. Now the hot spots you can notice are kind of near the objectives, like the hard points and stuff. They're pretty much in that sort of area. There's other hot spots that are on the map, but I didn't point them all out because you can pretty much figure them out. There's not too many more. But these are the general areas where a lot of combat seems to happen. Now the hardpoint objectives, if you notice, they're kind of all the way on the left side of the map. So if you spawn by the CDOM flag, you're going to have 3 hardpoints in your favor. However, when you spawn on A side, you're only going to get 1. So hopefully you're going to spawn on C side, and you're going to want to try and lock down that area if you're not spawned on C side, because you're going to have more chance to get on the hardpoint when you're spawning near C-Dom compared to spawning at A-Dom, because A-Dom is a lot farther from all the other objectives. specifically because if you look, there's one that's like pretty much probably like a 2-second run from C-Dom to that area that's A in Search and Destroy. That's one hard point. Then there's another hard point that's pretty much a diagonal from C. In that's not that bad. They're pretty much at the two Search and Destroy objectives. There's 2 hard points, and then the other hard points kind of thrown randomly. And you have to notice on this map, the hard points don't have much cover, so you're gonna have to get a lot of, like, you're probably gonna have to use a good spawn anchor to try and get that hard point locked down and make sure the enemy doesn't get on there, because you're not gonna be able to just stay on it. You're gonna probably get killed off of it a few times if you're staying on it, because there's not much cover at all. But hopefully that helps. And I'm going to show you guys the opening routes, because although I kind of showed them, they're not as useful when I just show them this way. I'm going to show them actually being used. So, we'll see you on the flip side. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some different routes you could take when you're playing on this map, when you're spawning over on this side is A, or when you're spawning over on C side. And the first route you could take is you could run directly over here, and you can kind of go through here, and it'll take you right over to this spot, and you can use this spot, like I said before, to kind of get a nice line of sight and pick people off as they come up. You also could take the bottom lower route if you're playing like Search and Destroy or whatever, and it might be good. You can also then just chuck a nade across there. I have C4, so I can't really chuck it. And you can get up to the same spot, and you could either hop across here or there or whatever, and it works pretty well too. And if you even wanted to, you can continue on and kind of go down here and get ready to go to the hardpoint or Search and Destroy objective that's over in that location. You alternatively could go straight ahead, and if you wanted to, you can go left and go to that same area I just showed you, or to the right, and this will bring you to B-Dom if you're playing Domination, and to the interior of this building, which you can kind of get a nice line of sight across to the other side. This is pretty much the final route, and you could just go to the right, and you could also use kind of the straight ahead, and you could go up to this side, and then at this point you can either go straight ahead or jump down there, and it'll work pretty well. Now when you're spawning on C side, your routes are a little bit more limited because there's not as much you could do, but the first route you could take is you could just go straight up the middle, and you can either make a right here, or you can just go straight again, and it'll take you right into the middle, and you can kind of get over to B-Dom. You don't have as good a line of sight over there because you can't really see across, but it's still a pretty good spot. Now the next route you can take is you can either go down or you can use the up path, and you're pretty much just going to go through, and you're going to hop up here, or you can just ran up that thing and it leads to the same spot, and then you can use this staircase to get down to B pretty quickly. Now this last route, you can just go up to the right, and you can either go straight ahead right here, or through this building, and it'll pretty much take you right over to the B Search and Destroy objective when you're on defense, and it'll be good for you to use, and you could just continue on down the path if you wanted to. Okay guys, now that's going to bring us to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something useful. The map, Vertigo, it's a very different map, but once you learn the playstyle, it's very fun to play on. Now, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you want to see the next one, it's probably going to be on either Magma or Encore, so you can check back next week for that video. So, if you haven't yet, make sure you click that like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button as well, as it helps me out a lot. If you want to check out other videos, you can click the previous random or coming soon box as soon as the videos go live. And, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video, guys. Bye.